live stream for Wednesday, September 14th. Another
good morning.
Very smoky day in Reno. Let's talk a moment about air filters. Jeannie and I were just talking this morning about we were working last night and it very much smelled like smoke in the store. And we were talking about the fact that it smelled so significantly differently between the front and the rear.
It smells really good in Patrick's part of the store and then really bad in my part. And as soon as you cross the threshold from this vacuum to the sewing, that's when I start chewing on the smoke.
So, long story short, I run one of those clean and cool fans in the front of the store. And I've actually run it up there, given that that's where the majority of the customers have been. When the clean and cool fans came out, they are also a UV filter, meaning that they've got, it goes through an ionic HEPA filter, and then it goes through a UV filter. So they kill viruses and stuff like that. So I've been running one. Those of you who know that we've talked about those Beneco fans.
It doesn't feel like a filter to me, but when I saw the, because it looks like a fan, it feels to me like a fan. But when I saw
when you saw what we pulled out of it
when I saw the filter part, I was like, ooh.
So, I was talking to Dana was in the store yesterday, and I was talking to her about the clean and cool fans. And one of the things that I said about the fans, and one of the things that I like about the fan, is that it moves so much air. And so last year, when our air was so bad for so long, when the air was at its worst, right around the time we started school last year, when we were in the 300 to 500 range, our home smelled like smoke. And so those fans had just come out. A customer actually brought them to my attention. I had never ordered them before. And I took one home and I ran it kind of where we generally would run. You guys have heard me talk about the fans that I run that make Jeannie's sewing room warmer and the upstairs of the house cooler. And I actually just replaced that fan with the clean and cool fan, and it did a great job in lowering the smoke. And then you heard us talk yesterday. She watched me clean that filter. I hadn't cleaned it in 4 or 5 days, and the smoke had been pretty bad up in our neighborhood. And I kind of popped the rear off and cleaned it, and Jeannie saw that. But last night, I had never really thought about it. But especially we were doing a ton of shipping, and my shipping department's at my desk.
He's the shipping manager.
I was up there. We shipped so much stuff yesterday, and we've been super busy just because a lot of stuff has arrived. So
we're getting all the orders
all the orders out. So we probably shipped 16 packages or something yesterday, and we're putting stuff together. But Jeannie kept commenting. She's like, every time I walk into the back, it smells like smoke, and it doesn't up front. So these clean and cool fans are smoke rated, which is an important distinction because a lot of times the ionic purifiers might not be. And it is it's kind of a pretty big deal. I got up this morning, the kids' school was canceled because of the smoke this morning.
Isn't that crazy?
And
we grew up on the East Coast, and you would hear about wildfires, but it just seemed like
it wasn't like it is now, though.
But even then, though, it just seemed like
that was something that happened somewhere else.
Yeah, not in my backyard.
Well, it happens here, but it is like walking into the kids' rooms, because it's funny. You leave the bedroom where it doesn't smell like smoke at all, and then you walk out into the main hallway of the house where there's like a little bit of smoke smell, and then into the kids' rooms where it doesn't smell like smoke at all.
Because they both have
They both have filters running. So a couple things about filters. Like, I was watching the Lookout update. There's a guy who does really kind of detailed fire updates, and I enjoy watching it because, like, you know, the reality is when we moved here, like, there was a summer, like in the first 10, 12 years that we lived here, where it was smoky for like 3 weeks. And we literally called it the summer of smoke. Like, my friends and I that climb and mountain bike referred to that summer as like the anomaly. Now it's every year there's a smoke season. And so I've been watching this guy from the Lookout who does these really good fire updates. He's a fire ecologist. And no, it's cool. Like, it's just learning about fire behavior and what happens and like how smoke works and stuff like that. So one of the things he talked about last night, he talked about mahogany smoke. So he was talking about the fact that much of what's burning with the mosquito fire right now, and this is localized obviously for the folks that are in this general area, but he was talking about how those timberlands owned by Sierra Pacific and a couple of big timber producers are primarily burning like pine and trees that they planted to be harvested. But then he was also talking about like the Forest Hill section of the fire and those areas where they're burning large mahogany groves. And he was talking specifically about the toxicity of the mahogany smoke, and how important it is to avoid that smoke. And we're not showing any issues here, Heather. So I don't know if that is a problem on our end, but the issues that we're seeing now with this smoke, like I said, it had the potential to be kind of toxic. So those clean and cool fans, I have a handful of them. I'm kind of jumping around here. They're the same size as the F220 fans. Similar, they don't run quite as fast as the F220 fans. But they're probably this big, and they're probably about this big, and they're about that deep. And they come with poles where you can mount them anywhere from like floor height to like high, and similar to those F220 fans. But they move a lot of air. They're smoke rated. They make a big difference. Like last year, we had some days where it was like you could almost see the smoke in the house, especially when we were letting like dogs in and out. And the fan just made a big difference. So the same thing happens every year, by the way. Like right now, if you look at one of the air quality index apps, you're going to see the entire West Coast. Like there are fires in Southern California. I think the rains helped quite a bit with those in the last couple of days. But big fires in Northern California, Oregon, Washington. Like there is smoke. Essentially, there are big fires right now in Montana and Idaho as well. So the entire West Coast is dealing with smoke. Like there's a lot of red and purple air in the West. So the same thing happens every year. Everybody waits until the smoke is really bad, and they wait until like they can't deal with it anymore, and then they want to buy an air filter. So like we've started selling air filters the last couple of days. People are showing up and buying air filters. Every year the same thing happens to me, which is I stock up, I bring in air filters, we kind of sell out of what we have. I might be able to reorder once or twice, and then it gets to the point where all of our suppliers are sold out of air filters. If you want an air filter, I'm pretty stocked up right now. I probably have $4,000 worth of air filters, and these are air filters that I bought last year. So I went out of fire season last year with a bunch of back-ordered air filters, and quite frankly, all that product arrived, and I haven't repurchased air filters. Like buying behavior's a little different these days. And so I've been reluctant to do a big air filter order. I was very hopeful we would exit the summer without smoke. And I'm just so like I get depressed when there's smoke outside.
Oh, Patrick's been depressed.
I can't go outside.
Patrick was sitting at the table the other day with a big fat upside down brownie.
Well, and then it was clear yesterday and I had to work. I was like, oh, maybe I can go for a ride.
I'm
like,
no, you're not.
In the
I
afternoon.
go, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere except behind your desk to start shipping.
So anyways, I haven't repurchased air purifiers because it's tough to manage inventory right now. And so if you want air purifiers, don't wait. Come get them.
Come and get it.
Because right now, I have
difference.
P400s. I have the hybrid ones are great. And a lot of my people using those H300s and H400s are that's been one of those products where people.
A hybrid one? What's a hybrid
one?
The
air filters. No, the air filters are purifiers. They're not for air conditioners. They are air purifiers. So there are
Wouldn't
fans.
that be great if it was an all-in-one, I've been looking for an air fryer, but I'm looking for the air fryer.
We have an air fryer at home that she's never used.
Anna gave it to me. But I want one that, you know how there's one that air fries and then it's a
pressure cooker
and then it's a toaster and then it's like 5 things in one. That's what I want. Does anyone have a recommendation?
No, we're not doing that. We have way too much stuff in our kitchen until she gets rid of the one pot.
I am getting one.
She gets rid of the air fryer. I'd like to see her use the air fryer for a while first.
How about you use it?
This person doesn't cook that much anymore. She's too busy.
How about you use it then? Since you're
I'm not gonna use it. I don't want to air fry anything.
Do you love your air fryers?
So
I need to hear.
Anyways, back to air filters. I've got P400s. I sold my last P500 yesterday.
And those are the biggest ones.
I've got the Clean and Cool fans, and that's a product that I've really kind of grown to love, especially if it's the only thing you have in your house. It moves a lot of air, and
the whole front of this store, seriously, as soon as I step and the threshold into the sewing side, then it's
well, and it was I had a headache last night.
And then Patrick's just breathing in the clean, fresh air on his side.
Well, I mean, we were running it essentially as soon as they came out because we really tried to. We wanted to circulate the air in the front of the store where the customers congregate during COVID. And we were circulating that air with something that happened to kill viruses too.
He wants to give you, our customers, good fresh air.
Plus, I get to sit right next to it. So there's a selfish motivation too. We could put a Clean and Cool fan back here. I have no problem with that.
Maybe we should do that.
So
maybe Michelle's been coughing. It's probably because the smoke in the store.
Nobody's stopping you. So I've got the Clean and Cool fans. I've got the P400s right now. I've been matching and beating online prices. The other thing too is part of the reason I haven't repurchased, and I don't want Beneco customers to be concerned here, but the company that brought us SIBO, the company that brought us Nelly's, there's a company that literally that's what they do. They basically find these products. They find these amazing. They actually brought us Beneco too. Now that I'm saying it, so the company that put Beneco on the map in the U.S., Beneco severed their relationship with them. We've maintained our relationship with Beneco. I will not leave my relationship with Beneco, meaning I'll always support the product. I'll be your service center. I'll have the air filters, etc. But about a year and a half ago, this company came to us and said, hey, we found this product called Ideal. Ideal is... So the backstory behind Beneco, they used to be made in Switzerland. They moved manufacturing to Asia, and the price point on the filters went from high to low. They're very reasonably priced filters. We really love them. It's what I have in my house. These Ideal filters, 100% made in Germany. and the price point's a little bit higher, but at the same time, it's still a German product. And there's some really nice features about them. So I think what I'll probably do is we sell out of Beneco is I'll bring in Ideal, and then we'll have 2 products at 2 different price points. The biggest point that I'm making right now is the same thing happens every year. And that is nobody buys air filters until the air filters sell out. And so last year we had like 4 months of smoke and we sold just a ton of air filters. But like I said, I bought probably $5,000 worth of air filters at the end of September as we rolled into October last year. And I haven't bought them since, and I still have almost all that inventory. And then there are these hybrid air filters, and I don't know if one of the ladies wants to chime in about that. The hybrid air filters are hybrid air filters humidifiers. And that was a product, like when I first brought them in, Shauna took one home. And it like Shauna went from like sick all the time to like never sick. Like Shauna started going, this air filter has changed my life. I didn't realize that had happened. And then a customer came in and we had one on display, and the customer was asking her about it. And then I listened to Shauna talk about the difference this air filter made. Air filters were just something I brought in because it was that company that brought us SIBO. And I was like, whoa, like that's kind of crazy. And then a lot of our customers using those hybrid air filters, you can use them as a purifier. You can use them as a, like an air cleaner. The humidification media will actually pull large debris and pollen out of the air. And then you can use them as a humidifier. In the US, we're not allowed to advertise the air cleaner. That's a European thing, but they advertise it over there. And it's real. In our house, we run them anytime somebody's sick as a humidifier. It's a great humidifier. We also run them, like right now, it's what's in Kai's room being run as a purifier. And they make a couple of different purifier medias for those. One is a comfort media, which is what you run when it's smoky. The other is just a pollen media that's inexpensive and will pull like allergens out of the air. But that's one of those products where we've had a lot of customers talk about like just running that all the time. I don't know if Diane reads on. Diane was one of them.
On to something more exciting. No, I mean air filters. It's like I love every room that we have an air filter.
Jeannie's new car has like this air filter thing, and we ran it last night, and it was like we got in the car and it reeked of smoke. And then you run it and it does this thing in the car where it all runs through an in-cabin microfilter, like a HEPA rated microfilter.
I won't be able to find it.
And it was like the smoke smell was gone. Like
I can't use it. I can't use anything in the car because it's all computerized and like I can't find anything. And then I struggle with the buttons, and I want just a car that like just.
Was I putting the ladies to sleep with all this air filter talk this morning?
Okay, if you ordered a North Pole kit, guess what? They came in last night, and so Patrick and I put them all together. I think I have 3 extra. So Michelle's finishing up we're doing the event together. Michelle's gonna do a day of it, and I'm gonna do a day of it, and it's gonna be so much fun. And you're gonna love it. It is really cute. I've stitched out all this stuff. It'll make a great holiday display. And then you could use it throughout the year and just put other things on it. So this kit is ready to go. We've kitted it out with all the stabilizer. All you have to do is add thread. And that's going to be October 4th and October 5th. This class is up. This is actually, so we did this year for the first time, we did the Riley Blake Table Topper Kit. And so Michelle Burritt has been teaching it. And there's been so many incredible skills. Like last month, was it last month? That was applique, and she's done through small pieces. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I press out my small pieces, I just, I get a lot of distortion. I don't know what it is. And all these squares and just getting everything perfect. She's also a long arm quilter. I know she's super busy right now, but here's a shout out. If you're looking for somebody to do your quilting for you, just send me a note and I can send you Michelle's information. But this class is up. It's going to be on the 28th, and you do need to have the kit. So we only had the kit for the people that did the monthly thing, but you could still find the kit online and then do the class. And this is a Lori Holt pattern. It's called Pumpkin Squared. And you know, I know there's people watching from other places too. So if you subscribe, sign up and take the class with Michelle. It's gonna be awesome. So and she just teaches you lots of tricks and techniques, and I mean, the quality of her quilting is incredible. The quality of her piecing is unbelievable. She's got so much to teach and learn. I can't wait to someday, when I have time, take every class that she teaches.
So the Beneco, somebody asked about price points on filters. Like, the filters really start, and the prices on those have gone up. Like the P400, I think, is $4.99. There's a national sale for $4.59. I was just looking online, because what I've tried to do with Beneco is match online prices. There are a couple of folks that have it listed for $2.99. If I can afford to do that, I'll do that. I think I should probably be able to, because I bought them, you know, a year ago before the prices on them have come up quite a bit. And so, like, if you're interested, I think it's probably really smoky where you are, Betty. So if you want one, call me, because what I'll do is I'll give you a price shipped, and I'll try to match online prices. And then, like, Clean and Cool fans are $2.99. But I'll do my best to meet or beat online prices with shipping. So they vary in price from, we'll call it $2.99 up. Those Ideal filters, the German-made ones, slightly higher price points. They move a lot more air.
They're
like,
for bigger rooms.
Well,
and stuff?
so the Ideal filters, like, Andrew and I spent quite a bit of time talking about it when he was here, and I was like, "What is it about this product that makes it stand out? Why is it better?" And he was like, "It's the efficiency of the fan motors." One of the things that happened when Beneco moved to Asian manufacturing is, like, their injection molding is still really nice. They're really well packaged. They're like, it was funny. I was joking with him. It's like the iPhone of air filters, and the way that they're packaged and stuff. It's high end Asian manufacturing, but he's like, their air efficiency went down with their fans. So in the filters, so he's like, you know, the thing that you're going to find with the Ideal filters is that the smaller filters move a lot more air. So the smaller filters actually have higher efficiency ratings. You spend a little bit more for that, like, given the size of the filter, but, you know, you're actually getting more clean air for it. So
how come the Germans make such good stuff?
You guys will hear us talk a lot about the difference between single source product and globally sourced product. If you've never heard us talk about that, I won't take much of your time to do that.
I never talk about it. Patrick
But
talks
one of the
about it.
things that I always talk about with manufacturers, like the Baby Lock and Brother machines, because Brother's a big manufacturer, Brother's not outsourcing their manufacture of parts and stuff like that. It comes from Brother. And so, quite frankly, they make a more reliable, a better machine. SIBO's single source, meaning everything in the SIBO vacuum comes out of one place. So in a world where like Mila's a great example, where it's like electronics coming from Asia, injection molding happening in the Czech Republic, like that globally sourced stuff costs their ability to produce. Like, you've seen those warranties in Mila come down from like 7 years to 3 years or 1 year in some circumstance. Ideal's another single source German product. So it's not just that it's quote unquote made in Germany, it's actually all made in one place in Germany. And just because of that level of quality control, they make better stuff. That's just kind of
They just all their stuff is always top notch. Do they even have any? Do they even make any sewing machines anymore? Because was Pfaff German?
Pfaff was German. Viking was Swedish. That's just none of that's accurate anymore. I mean, they're owned by a Chinese holding company. It's made in mainland China.
Crazy.
And that's one of those things. Like, you'll hear me talk about the fact that a lot of those brands just haven't adjusted to Asian manufacturing well. Like, just is what it is.
So, Betty, you are right. There is so much fun stuff on that table. So, I did get in. I got these in. So, if you're doing the pumpkin pizzazz class, these the patterns are in. So you can come pick it up, or you can purchase them online. I think people are having trouble finding these because we don't know how to spell pizzazz. Like, I didn't know. Is it P-I-Z-Z-A-Z-Z? Is it P-I-Z-Z-A-Z? I thought it was double Z, but it's really one Z, double Z. So it's on there. You can get them now.
Is it on the promotions page?
I don't think it's on the promotions page, but it's up there at 10% off, I think. And you can do this with a sewing machine as well, but we're really going to focus on doing this with a serger. And then kits will be ready today as soon as I have that wire. So I'm putting wire in it, and I have it. So I didn't want to get it, but I looked for it again last night.
So you're going to run out and get it first.
I'm going to run out and get it. So those kits will be ready. And so there is a brights. And then there is a neutral, depending on what you like in your home decor. And then, of course, I am going to be putting one of these fantastic stems in every kit, and then you'll have your wire. You're going to have to provide your...
Having seen both, like, having seen the original projects with the described, like, fake stem, fabric stem, and then with the described real stem, the real stems look so much better.
The real stems just make everything so much spookier. Ooh.
Thank you, Secretary Mundy.
Thank you, Secretary Mundy. We appreciate it. She's always on the ball there. P-I-Z-A-Z-Z. And then other things.
Can we thank Dana for our razzleberry pie, which we ate all of yesterday?
Amazing. We ate the entire pie. And Patrick and I both had, we had 2 pieces.
I had like 4.
And then mine, she brought whipped cream too.
I ate 2 pieces,
and when
but
I
it was the
put
equivalent
my
of
whipped
4.
cream on, I just
We were here until late last night, though, like it was my dinner.
Yeah, I cover it. Mine is like, where's the pie? There it is. It's under the whipped cream. I don't know.
Did you take the whipped cream home last night?
No, because Dana, the whipped cream will not go to waste. We will be doing whipped cream shots at the store all day.
Did you put it in the fridge?
Yeah, it's in the fridge. If you want a whipped cream shot,
I was like so hungry last night while we were still here, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna break down. I'm just gonna eat the rest of the pie."
Patrick goes, "Should we bring a piece home for Violet?" And because Kai doesn't like sweets, I was like, "Heck no!" And then we ate it, and then we finished it. It was so good, and we only had 2 plates in the entire store.
Well, like the last piece, I just ate right out of the pie pan.
Did you use the serving tool?
No, I used a plastic spoon.
We're so fancy at A1. We didn't have any plates, so Dana and I shared a plate. She ate on one side and I ate on the other, and then I kept the plate and put another piece of pie on it. We're so not fancy here. Anyhow, well, you know, how fancy am I going to be? I used to eat dinner off the floor on newspaper.
The nice thing about that is when they were done, they just fold it all up and throw it in the garbage.
I was thinking about when I was little, and my mom and I would do something, or she would seal up an envelope. We didn't have glue. Not that we couldn't buy glue, but in Korea they used rice as glue. So she'd go get like a thing of rice, and she'd like smear it, and then close the envelope, and that was our glue.
So, well, do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but when the first time we went to Korea, who was that guy that took us to the tofu house?
Was it my dad's, the publisher?
No. It was like we met a guy who was like he was an art teacher at Yonsei, and he took us to the tofu house. And
No,
it was
we went with like a niece of a. She was an art student. We went with like a niece.
But it was her professor.
Oh, okay.
So her professor spoke English, and there weren't a lot of English speaking people there. And so as we were walking, we walked into the arts district, which is like so beautiful.
It's really cool.
I'm super excited. We're going to Korea.
That's the plan. Got to get our
between
tickets.
Christmas and New Year's, to see Jeannie's aunt. But he actually commented, like, there was a decent amount of litter, and which is strange because it's a very clean country. And one of the things he was talking about was something that had happened recently there. This is in the 2000s. Was he was like, it used to be like when you bought something in the market, it came in rice paper. It came in essentially naturally and quickly biodegradable stuff. So if somebody ate something and they threw it on the ground, it would rain or water would get it and it'd break down and it would essentially disappear naturally. And he's like, just recently, a lot of those vendors have found that it's lesser expensive to use non-biodegradable
Just
products.
plastic.
And
Like plastic
and
bags.
that they hadn't shifted to that new
So
mentality.
so they would still just throw their
They would
garbage
take
on the
their
ground.
little bag that they got their like amazing pastry walnuts with red beans and
So
like and just throw it on the ground. So it wasn't like, I don't mean to make it sound dirty at all, but like he actually, I didn't look at it and go, that looks super bad, but he's like, there's a bunch of litter because just in the last like 5 to 10 years people have started using this other product.
But my aunt, like when we would go and visit, remember her garbage for the week? She'd have like, it was because she would go to the market every day. She'd have literally like a little bag like this. That was her garbage for the week.
Right.
Because it would just be a little bit of like stuff like bones or like stuff.
Right.
And just like a little bag. It was so cool. It's really, really cool there. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll live feed. It'll be at like 1 a.m, but we'll live feed and we'll take you to like the Korean markets, and we'll take you to they have it amazing. So if you look at stuff like Moda, most of all of that fabric is coming from Korea. So Korea is a huge manufacturer of fabric.
She went
trim.
the last time to the fabric warehouse. Like, so it's like what, 8-10 stories, something like that.
Oh my God, it was just incredible. It was like football fields. Like just building after building with fabric, and like one place where you go and it's all trim.
And nobody
and
sews
one place
there.
and nobody sews in Korea.
Yeah.
When I told my cousin we were buying a vacuum in a sewing store, he was like, he looked at me and he was like,
I don't think that's gonna work.
Yes! He said he didn't think it was gonna be.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Because nobody sews there, and people don't have
sweep.
carpet.
They sweep.
But some houses you go into, they had vacuum cleaners. Isn't that? It's so crazy, but nobody sews.
And then there were lots of retail stores that displayed old sewing machines. Like, we kept seeing.
Did we see that?
Like the old Singer machines. Like, we're being
Patrick's my
repurposed.
memory. If
We're
I didn't have
being
Patrick,
repurposed
I wouldn't
as
remember
a-
anything, because I don't. He reminds me. Yeah, it is. It's crazy over there. It's super, super cool. So Pumpkin Pizzazz is in. I just put these on the website. This is Ghostly. So I have a couple of fat quarters of this. So if you wanted this, I will change the price, but we'll do it at I just put it up 25% off. Okay, I've got 2. That's it. Just type in Ghostly. I'll change the price, and if you go ahead and just purchase it now, I will adjust your.
Trish, the food. That's why you go to Korea. It's like fresh, farm to table.
And they've gotten very creative with their cuisine. Like, I think there's a food
the traditional
movement.
Stuff is like crazy. It's so good.
And so many people go, I don't like kimchi though. It's there's so
that, like,
much good. It's not just, there's only one kimchi that you buy here in the States. There's so many different kinds.
Unless you're at the Korean
Heather.
market.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds.
But I mean, that talking about that art district, I mean, that guy took us to a place. It was like they'd been making tofu for like 500 years. And so we ate at this Dubu house.
500 years. Probably.
No, I'm dead serious. He was like, yeah, this is like, it's one of the older existing Dubu houses, and
Patrick's so cute because he knows the food, so he'll go and order something, and they're like, oh, you like Dubu? Oh, because he'll speak, he knows like the names of food, and they're always so surprised when he says it.
But that meal that we ate at
that was one of the
craziest things that we've ever had.
We've had so many incredible meals in Korea.
We're all over the place. Like, we're a food travel family.
Our family's so food motivated, and we're so food greedy. Like, we will portion if there's like, we count everything out. We're like, you get 1.5. If there's like 6, then we're like, you get 1.5 and don't eat more than that.
And then if somebody isn't gonna eat it, they'll like be like, who's gonna eat it? And it's always me and Kyle.
Like last night we brought home food and the kids I was like, you have to split it. It wasn't like it was much.
I don't have her wand yet.
But yes,
I don't have her wand.
It's gonna be like
just tell her I don't have her wand.
It'll
yet.
be like
call her when it's.
It'll be like Anthony Bourdain.
You're nowhere near as interesting as that. But anyways, this Dubu house, like the meal that was 20 years ago that we ate there, and like that meal stands out potentially as the best meal that we've ever eaten anywhere.
Did I show them some of these? Did I show them at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. So there is no class yet. Michelle and I are going to be working on the curriculum.
Oh, we need to talk about the upgrade stuff for that too.
We're going to be working on the curriculum because we still have just kind of gotten ours.
Well, and people don't have the upgrade yet, so there's no reason for us to do those
if you don't have the
yet.
upgrade, don't worry about them. They're trickling in. I know you're seeing them online, but most people have not gotten their upgrade yet.
And here's the other thing too. So I had a conversation with the folks at Baby Lock yesterday.
Ooh.
And the folks at Baby Lock were like, we're trying to create a sense of urgency. And
Yes.
I'm like, good job. You created a sense of panic. So many of you that are getting emails from Baby Lock saw an email and saw postings saying that if you did not register your upgrade before the end of September, that you wouldn't get your visionary books and your visionary designs. I called yesterday to say I was sure that wouldn't be the case, but I called yesterday to confirm that, and A, it is not the case. B, I was like, why would you guys send an email like that if you knew that a lot of your customers aren't even going to have the upgrade by then? And that was when they were like, well, we were trying to create a sense of urgency. And I'm like, you're creating a sense of panic. I got a bunch of emails. A handful of people called yesterday. If you're waiting for your upgrade, no, you do not need to register your upgrade before the end of September in order to get your visionary booklet. They literally have extended that promotion until the end of Q4. And quite frankly, if they don't have the ability to deliver all the upgrades that have been ordered by then, which I'm not saying that they won't, but like if you're somewhere else and you didn't buy them from us, because it looks like we're supposed to have the majority of our upgrades probably before the end of this month, don't worry. They will extend that to make sure that you get your visionary book.
Yeah.
So no need to panic.
Yeah. Our rep said it'll be through the end of the year. So don't worry about it. You're going to have access to it. It's going to be great.
I need to put cash in the register and all that stuff.
So we stitched out a couple of things. These are some of the new fills that are going to be in the new upgrade.
They're so pretty.
They're super pretty.
I love this one.
And remember, you're not limited to that size. You can blow it up and blow it down.
What about the what did you used to call this? That thing
I stitched out some of the long stitch designs. And so these, here, I'll try and do them up close. So these are some of the long stitch designs. And if you look at them, I think the machine in past was never able to do anything bigger than 9 millimeters. Was that right? I could be remembering the length wrong. But these do like super long stitches, and then they're anchored down, and they're really, really cool. I love, of course, the cactus is my favorite, but this is the bunny. So there's like a bunny, the hearts, aren't those so cute? I haven't pressed this out or anything. I'm hoping that I can turn this into a book. The cactus is my favorite because it's succulent and so adorable. And I love that one. Is that one so gorgeous? So that one is like so beautiful. So we're going to be stitching some things out. There's the large designs that are going to be coming with the upgrade. There is, have you seen that couching font? That is so cute. The couching font is absolutely incredible. There's so many new designs that are coming with it. It's a fun, some of the upgrades I'm like, oh, it's all right. This upgrade is spectacular. And again, last night I was using my my new multi-purpose foot, which I absolutely love. And, I was, last night I posted a video because we're starting Sweet as Pie. Sweet as Pie is going to start on, Sweet as Pie is starting on Monday. So I have a couple of kits because we were waiting for tape dispensers and binders. So I'm going to be sending that stuff out. So I posted a video last night of your homework. So make sure you're going to have, I know, homework. You thought homework was over with, but it's not. There is some pre-class homework, and then depending on what we get done in class, there might be some post-class homework. But all I did last night was I stitched out the lattice. So I stitched out the, is it on here? This has to be done before class. So the little crust, lattice crust, in this one and the one for the blueberry pie, the cherry pie and the blueberry pie, that has to be done, as well as your 6-patch. You have to have your 6-patch stitched, which is that little guy right there, because we're going to go ahead and quilt him. Okay? So, and that should be on Facebook and YouTube. The spreadsheet is up and available too. You can find that on Facebook. Just go to the A1 Sew Along group. The A1 Sew Along group, and there's a little magnifying glass. Go ahead and type that in and type in Sweet as Pie, or just look down in the feed. It shouldn't be far down in there because I just loaded that up. We need to get together. Yeah, we do need to get together. I know, wouldn't that be fun? So Sew Along's going to be on Monday. Get ready for that and get prepped. And I did all my cutting, and I did post that video too. Was there anything else, ladies? I can't remember anything right now. I think that's going to be it right now. Thank you, Miss Marlene. I did create a group, a Sweet as Pie group, and I will start posting stuff to that and sending out emails to people who are on that group. So if you want to be added, just send me a note. And if you had purchased anything that's Sweet as Pie, you're already in that group. I just haven't sent anything yet, but I will send out that spreadsheet so you'll have it in case you're having trouble finding it. Do we have wonderful pre-wound bobbins in colors? We do have those in the store. We don't have every color, but I'm going to take a picture because somebody else had asked, and so I'll take a picture and I'll send that out to you. I wonder if you're asking if you're on the multi-needle, because I have been a stitching queen on my 10 needle, and I will continue to do so. If you are doing the tiling scenes, and if you are waiting for some of that product, they did have that move, so I followed up, and I have one shipment coming, and the other one should be here on its way, and I will start sending out some files to you if you're just kind of in a waiting pattern, and then the hard copy later. So that's it for now. Have a great day.